Hi guys, welcome to the Fight Edge channel. Former boxing world champion in 3 weight categories Anthony Joshua said that he intends to win a rematch with Ukrainian Alexander Usyk. I failed twice, but in most cases I overcame many obstacles. In the next fight I will beat Usyk and take my 3 belts, and I'm going to become a world champion in 3 versions again, whether people like it or not. Since I only fight once or twice a year, I have to be active in the gym. But because of the defeat in the last fight, there were a lot of changes in my team. Therefore, I appreciated training more intelligently, looking for what I can improve and not just working hard in terms of physical fitness. I'm not happy with what happened early, because that's the mindset of an athlete. You need to be angry at the defeat. This is unacceptable. Now it's about moving forward. People know that I'll recover quickly. I'm constantly fighting with the best. It's always been part of my DNA, Joshua said. Former world champion Timothy Bradley is convinced that Anthony Joshua has lost his former hunger and will not be able to defeat the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight title holder Alexander Usyk in a rematch. I don't foresee that the rematch will turn out any differently. In the person of Joshua, we have a guy who is trying to find himself. I don't know what he's looking for. He just needs to look at himself. He looks at different coaches, different techniques. You can see Joshua walking from hole to hole, trying to find the fragment that Anthony seems to be missing. This is this one, this is this one. No man, this is you and your mentality. Sometimes fighters initially achieve too much success and stop doing what they do at the beginning of their career. They stop being hungry. It's happening to Joshua. I don't think he's hungry right now. I think he enjoys his time and the fruits of hard work. A fighter should always have a little fear that sometimes success can knock you down and sometimes you can lose a hell of a lot of his presence, said Timothy Bradley. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I'm trying very hard, absolutely every day, and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. The WBC has once again given the teams of heavyweight champion Tyson Fury and challenger Dillian Whyte the go-ahead to extend the negotiation period in order to finally work out a deal on the fight and strike a deal. This was announced on Twitter by the head of the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman. The WBC received requests from both sides to extend the period for negotiations and approved it, he writes. If there is no agreement, promotional auctions will be held on Wednesday, January 26, the president of WBC stressed. And here are entertaining thoughts from promoter Dillian on such trades. Recall that the WBC in December ordered Tyson to conduct a mandatory defense against Dillian Whyte and ruled that Dillian should receive only 20% of the prize pool. The British tabloid found out from somewhere the amounts that ex-champion Anthony Joshua and temporary WBC champion Dillian Whyte could allegedly request in order to allow Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury to immediately fight among themselves and determine the #1 heavyweight fighter. According to the Daily Star, without referring to any sources, Joshua expects from the organizers of the fight somewhere around £15 million and a guarantee that he will enter the ring with the winner. In addition, according to the publication, Whyte would like to see about £5 million in his pocket. At some time, it is unclear whether he also needs a guarantee of a fight with the winner, which would complicate the situation. It is necessary to treat these figures carefully. Boxing News might as well have written that Joshua wants 100 million. Yesterday, Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn reported that there are some people in the Middle East who are willing to pay a lot of money for the fight Usyk-Fury. Fury's promoter Bob Arum is a little angry. Earlier, he even said that Fury could fight Char, who had spent 1.5 rounds in 50 months. Dylan White boxing promoter Eddie Hearn said that a heavyweight bout between British Tyson Fury and Ukrainian boxer Alexander Usyk is possible, but doubtful. In order for the fight to take place, a lot of things have to happen. We're not looking at whether the Fury-White fight will take place first to set a date for Joshua's fight with Usyk. No, I'm saying that some people still have a desire to try to organize this fight, Fury-Usyk. Now the favorites are Fury with White and Joshua with Usyk, so expect surprises, but I think you will see it as two fights, Fury with White and Joshua with Usyk. You never know what will happen in the next couple of days, Hearn said. Usyk vs Fury, who will become the absolute heavyweight champion? In 2022, one of the most anticipated fights in boxing will take place, which will determine the #1 fighter in the heavyweight division. This is, of course, about the fight between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury. 35-year-old Alexander Usyk is the current champion according to the World Boxing Association (WBA), the World Boxing Organization (WBO), and the International Boxing Federation (IBF). 32-year-old Tyson Fury holds the World Boxing Council (WBC) champion title. The Ukrainian boxer last year, or rather on September 25, at a stadium of the Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, took away the WBO, WBA, IBF championship titles from the British boxer Anthony Joshua. Fury fought Deontay Wilder in 2021 and defended the WBC championship title. If the parties agree and the fight between Usyk and Fury takes place, then the title of absolute world champion in the most prestigious weight category will be at stake. Who can be against this fight? Anthony Joshua and the temporary WBC champion Dylan White can prevent the fight between Usyk and Fury. The first will insist on a rematch, and Usyk will be obliged to agree under the contract in force between them, and the second takes first place among the contenders from the WBC. Now, most likely, it's being decided which of the proposed fights will be the most profitable from a financial point of view. The other day, the English edition of the Daily Star published information about the amounts that Joshua and White requested for giving permission to fight Usyk and Fury. First of all, Joshua demanded $20 million in compensation and White $7 million. Joshua's representatives also insist on a guarantee that he will go out to fight with the winner. About the sum requirement on the part of White is not reported. The figures from the British tabloid, of course, cannot be trusted, but one thing is clear: the fight between Usyk and Fury will take place only when the financial interest of all interest parties are satisfied. Sergei Gorodnichev, a former member of the coaching staff of Vladimir Klitschko, believes that the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight world champion Alexander Usyk should responsibly approach the rematch with Anthony Joshua. I think that Usyk needs to focus on preparing for the rematch, because the fight can go very differently. Some things that it will pass, like the first fight. Perhaps it all depends on Joshua. Usyk will not show anything supernatural already. If Joshua does not turn on, then of course Usyk will beat him. This is 100%. I don't know what should happen to Joshua for him to run at Usyk and box with full power. We saw at what pace and in what manner Joshua boxed. We will be waiting for a rematch. Most likely it will take place in the near future, April-May. Hearn is already shouting that it will be in London. Usyk is a good boxer, but unfortunately their business management is lame. Usyk is a good boxer, but unfortunately their business management is lame, because they have recruited amateurs to the team who cannot agree, Sergei Gorodnichev said. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.